kind of forgot that this channel existed, if I'm being so honest. I made 2 videos. One is now unlisted just because I think I could do it better, and also I'm pretty sure I started crying halfway through. I think I'll pick this up again to try to use as like a journal or just to talk about my own experiences. And you know what? For today, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna speak whatever. I'll put a title to it later. But recently, I was improving for a bit, and then it really suddenly one night just kind of took a dip, which is funny because that's also kind of how it got better. I was going through a really bad bout of health anxiety, and then I struggled with that a lot. I was going through a really bad bout of health anxiety to the point where I didn't leave my house for months, and then really randomly one night, it almost seemed like my brain just kind of had enough. I had a small breakdown, and then suddenly I was better. Suddenly, the very next morning, not even the very next morning, just like right after, that sort of the anxiety and stuff I had surrounding it died. Not entirely, but it basically died, and I was immediately back to doing stuff like normal. I wasn't scared of anything, but just like how quickly that ended recently, that's about how quickly I had more stuff pop up. And recently, for the past week or two, I've been kind of feeling worse, but not much in a health anxiety way, more just in an overall way. And it could be the evil winter months trying to get me. The evil winter months are, I was going to say approaching, but it's already winter, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if that's the end of November or the beginning. Either way, close enough. There's no snow, but close enough. It's usually considered winter around here. So I think it might be the evil winter months trying to get me. I was also recently, within the past couple months, I started seeing a psychiatrist, and I was diagnosed with OCD as well, which in hindsight makes a lot of sense looking back at previous behaviors and stuff. But I have a really terrible thing where if something is wrong with me, if something is being caused by some sort of disorder, or something's wrong in my head, I end up thinking I'm wrong, I'm defective, I'm damaged, not worth it. So recently I've kind of been struggling there because of, looking at it and being like, oh, I have a disorder that's causing me to act in this type of way. I get that way with my depression as well. I still can't really accept that anything that I've been diagnosed with a range of things. I have been diagnosed with agoraphobia, panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. I've been diagnosed with ODD, ADD, or ADHD. My bad. I was unofficially diagnosed with autism a while back. My psych was not very great, and he tried to hold that diagnosis above my head, so he went, "You have it, but I'm not writing it down until you get better into school." So I'm not officially I'm not formally diagnosed, but I am informally diagnosed. I don't know, but I also have my suspicions of BPD. That's a suspicion bit kind of from other people, because I've had a number of people sit there and be like, "Hey, I kind of think you might have this," and I'm like, "Really? Really? You really think that?" Nothing against people with BPD. It's kind of in my own stigma toward if something's wrong with me. If something's wrong with me, I'm like, oh, I'm bad. But I've been struggling with it recently, and I feel like that's been taking a toll on everyone around me, and I feel terrible for that because I don't want to take it. I'm trying really hard to try to not slip into the bad habits that I used to, albeit I'm not as successful with that. I may be seeing a psychiatrist right now, but that is primarily focused around the OCD and the health anxiety bit, and not so much around the sort of depressive bits and everything. So I don't have much help for that stuff. My psychiatrist does not specialize in that, and that is not the stuff we have been talking about in our sessions. So I didn't mention it here, but for trying to deal with the depression bit and the anxious thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, and overthinking, which I guess can also be a compulsion, like ruminating on stuff. With all of that, I don't have professional help to deal with that. So it's just kind of just me. I feel bad at with the thought of trying to get others to help me because I feel like I'll be a burden to them. I feel like I'll be turning them into like my therapist or something like that, or I'll be relying too much on them. So I've kind of pushed myself into this state where I'm keeping to myself and I'm trying to deal with it all on my own because I cannot fathom trying to go to somebody else and telling them about it. I feel like an attention seeker. I feel like a burden. I feel like I'll be wearing them down, which is crazy and kind of like hypothetical thinking for myself, because when it comes to other people in my life struggling, I want them to come to me. I want to help. I want to listen. I don't want them to keep it to themselves because that's not good. And I don't like that. I don't like that kind of bit in my head where it applies to others, but but when it comes to me, it doesn't count. Like, yeah, I want people. I like my boyfriend, for example, hard time, and I want to be there. I want to listen. I want to help. I want them to come to me, like when she has a problem and stuff, and not just like keep it all bottled up, because that's not good. Like that's not good for you to keep stuff all like bottled up into yourself. But when it comes to myself, I can't bring myself to go to others and be like, hey, I'm dealing with this right now. Because as soon as I do, there's something in my head that's just like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, you made yourself look bad. Oh, you're being a scummy, abusive person. You're a burden. You're using them as a therapist. You're an attention seeker. So, the best I can do right now is try to deal with it all on my own, which isn't good. It isn't good. I do need to work on that, and I have been trying to work on that. I go through periods where I'm slightly more okay with it, but for the most part, I tend to struggle with it. I really am trying. I want to be better at that. I also don't want things that I do, like that have nothing to do with others, to end up affecting those other people and wearing down on them. Because sometimes I'll go through periods where I'm just upset. I'm just bothered by something. I just can't bring myself to be more out there and as energetic and responsive and stuff as I usually am. But then when I'm like that, I feel like it wears down on others, or like it affects others in a negative way. And then I'm like, oh shit, well that's not what I wanted, and it has nothing to do with them. And I worry about it when I'm during those periods, it getting to those people and them thinking they did something wrong when they didn't do anything. It wasn't on them. It's purely something's going on in my brain. There's a lot of stuff that I like think about regarding how I am and stuff, and a lot of it does like wear down quite greatly on me, because I'm like, oh, I'm like evil is kind of what my brain says to me a lot of the time. So I end up sitting there and I'm like, oh well, gotta take it as it's true. But that's what kind of sucks. It sucks. It sucks that I have that unreasonable part of my brain, but then the more reasonable, like logical part of my brain, and for some reason that just unreasonable bit is like 20 times louder than the logical bit. Like there will be times where people close to me and stuff will be going through a hard time, but because I get in my head so much about, oh, I'm the cause of that bad time, oh, I'm the one like fucking stuff up, I end up sitting there and I'm like, oh, I need to retreat. I need to back away. I can't talk to this person or whatever. But then there's the logical part of my brain that's just like, hey, retreating like that and stuff like isn't, as much as that may feel like caring to you in the moment, it isn't actually, like, it doesn't come off as caring. And like if someone were to do that to me, like I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't interpret that as like caring and stuff. I would get more upset, because then it's like, oh, why don't people care? And it sucks because I have that logical part of my brain that acknowledges that behavior is not a good thing and that's fighting really hard to try to get me out of it. But then I have that irrational, evil part of my brain that's just like, no, you have to stay away and stuff. I know I don't. I just don't know how to fix that. All I have to go based off of, like, I don't have professional help with this stuff. So all I have is like some books and whatever mental health courses and articles I can find online. And a lot of the time, because those are short, it's not a consistent thing, and I kind of struggle with like keeping consistency going. I don't have somebody to hold me accountable or anything like that. It kind of gets hard to stick to that, and I'll improve for a bit, but then I'll end up declining. And I know that like declining and stuff, like little dips and regression and all that, is like, it's kind of a normal part of getting better, and your reaction to those regressions matters a lot. Like your reaction to those is primarily what matters. During those regressions, I just feel kind of like, oh, I kind of like fucked up really bad there, huh? Maybe I'm not getting better, but that's not true. I know it's not true. And I'm not trying to use this video to talk down on myself. I'm trying to use it almost like a journal, in a way. I don't know. That's the best way I can use it. Kind of like using the video as a journal, and then whatever. Maybe it'll benefit me to be talking. Maybe other people will find it kind of like relate in some way. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm kind of like, I'm starting to blank on what I've said. So I guess I just kind of cut it off there or something. But I'm going to start trying to use this channel more again, just because I want to start making content of any kind again. And I want to try to give myself a passion to try to to give myself something, because at the moment I have nothing. Like, I have nothing going on. I don't have a job. I haven't been successful with finding a job. I don't have like a hobby that I've taken up. I don't have a passion that I'm working on or anything. So I want to give myself something. And in recent months, I've been thinking of making content again, videos, streaming, whatever, just content. I miss making content. I like making content. It may be poor content, but I just need something. So that's what I'm gonna try to do now. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it there. Bye.